Okay, welcome to my Yap Sesh. I'm just gonna speak my mind on this because music has changed so much. No one knows what the heck is going on anymore. Everyone wants to write a hit song, but you can't. Not because you're not talented, not because your song isn't good enough, because the entire concept of a hit song is not what you think it is. It's barely even about the song. Let me explain. I'm Kimera, songwriter, vocal producer, and I've spent years chasing the idea of writing the perfect song. But the more I've learned about how it actually happens, the more I've realized writing a great song is only like 20% of what makes a hit. And understanding that has been weirdly liberating. We're in a really weird time for top 40 music. The radio has no vibe anymore. Have you noticed this? You turn on the top 40 radio station and you get a hyperpop track, a crossover pop country, a sad indie ballad, and a reggaeton banger all in a row. I absolutely love that so much variety is getting recognized as good music, but what happened to different stations playing different genres? There's just no consistency. Did you notice back in the 2000s, pop radio had an identity? You knew what you were getting. Pop had megastars like Rihanna, Gaga, Taylor Swift. They all dominated and the sound was cohesive. You could feel the era. Nowadays, we have a lot of really great artists, but not many new megastars anymore. Sabrina Carpenter, okay, she might be the only one in the past 6 years. So what has changed? First of all, TikTok decides who goes on the radio and who charts now. And I think that's a big problem. Radio used to dictate hits based on what people were actively choosing to listen to, and of course some record label magic, but now radio plays what's trending on TikTok. If a song goes viral, it ends up on the radio even if people aren't actually listening to it, they're just using it as background music in their reels. Here's the problem with that. A song can hit the Billboard Hot 100 because it's trending, but then it falls off the chart the next week because people weren't in love with the song, they just wanted their 15-second video. It wasn't a hit, it was a meme. And as a songwriter, guess what? That's your competition. Radio is desperately trying to stay relevant, which is why the vibe is all over the place. So this is one of the reasons why you can't just write a hit song, because you can't control when something goes viral. The algorithm decides, the platform decides, the timing, the culture, the randomness of the internet. You're not in control. Sure, you can write a song that's perfectly crafted, insanely catchy, timeless, addictive, but that doesn't make it a hit. It's kind of like we're competing with thirst traps and cat videos at this point, and I find that deeply disheartening. You're not just competing with other songwriters anymore. You're competing with the entire internet, the algorithms, the trends. What actually makes a hit song? Because the song itself is only 20% of the perfect storm. So you need that to be amazing, but you also need a huge artist with a huge following, a record label, or at least a massive marketing budget, timing, and luck. And again, a viral blessing from the social media gods who control our lives now. You can't control any of that. But believe it or not, when you realize all of this is happening, it can be quite liberating. You just found out who the Wizard of Oz really is behind that curtain. So here's the perspective shift. Understanding all of this takes the pressure off. For years, I thought if I just write the perfect song, it'll be a hit. This can subliminally tie to your self-worth. If you don't have a hit, that's not a good feeling. So get out of that hole if you're in it, because it's not your music. That isn't the problem at all. Your music is probably unreal, but this forces you to ask yourself, what are you actually writing songs for? Do you even want to write hits, or do you just want to write songs you love? Do you want to chase TikTok trends? Do you need that? Or do you want to build something timeless? Or do you just want to release music on your own because it makes you happy? For me, I'm not gonna lie, and I've changed my mind on this several times, but the answer is I do want to write hits, okay? And because that answer is yes, I know I can't keep just writing amazing songs in my own home studio hoping someone will discover them. I need a business plan. I need to follow the breadcrumbs to find out who actually gets the songs to labels and artists. I need to network. I need to know who to follow on Instagram. I need to understand how placements happen. Do your research. Yeah, you could get management who can do a lot of that for you, but for those of you thinking that actually does sound like a not fun path, and you're wondering how can you compromise, you actually could start exploring a middle ground. I know a lot of people who have found major happiness in different music paths. The cover band by night and corporate job by day. The sync licensing songwriter who gets to hear their own voice on TV shows. The demo singer who's just happy to get paid to sing. You can always carve out time to write that 20% hit just for yourself, or you can be relentless and you can knock down those doors.